there, my name's Alana, and you could say I have a little bit of an obsession with Charlotte Tilbury. Today I am so excited to be sharing with you my thoughts on the brand new Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk Beautifying Face Palette. I purchased this in the fair to medium option. It's also available in a medium deep option. So now before we get started, I mentioned my Charlotte Tilbury addiction. I'm going to leave a playlist link down below that has nearly 60 videos dedicated to Charlotte Tilbury reviews. So look, I know. Okay, I know. It's an obsession. Okay, I got it. Anyways, so in this video, we are going to be testing out this absolutely beautiful little face quad. So I'm going to show you how all 4 of the powders look on the skin. Then I'm going to show you my favorite way to wear the palette, which should be surprising to nobody that it is how I'm wearing it right now. I'm going to share with you my thoughts and ultimately, is this worth the 95 Canadian dollars? So let's get into it. Oh, and also swatches. There are going to be swatches because this is a makeup video. I almost didn't even say it because I didn't think it was necessary. Let's get into it. So as we start playing with this palette, I'm just going to start off by showing you kind of one combo on each side, and then I'm going to show you my favorite way to wear this palette. So we're going to start off, I'm going to call this the Pillow Talk side, and I'm going to call this the pink side. So we'll start with Pillow Talk on this side. I have my Refer number 5 brush, just going in, kind of just dabbing it into the blush shade, and buffing it in. Now, just for reference, I am wearing Charlotte Tilbury's Beautiful Skin Foundation in shade 2 Neutral. Then I did go in with the Film Star Bronze and Glow. Went in with that bronzer because I always like to show you guys how I actually wear the makeup as part of a full face. So as you can see, I've gone in probably with like 5 layers of this blush, and it is really, really lightweight and really, really buildable. So I think that's about enough blush for me. It's kind of sculpting. Okay, so I'm just going to, I have like a little color switch beside me, so I'm just going to clean off this brush. And then on the opposite cheek, I'm gonna go in with this hot pink. What I think is really interesting about the hot pink is, even though it looks so much brighter in the pan, on the cheek, it's very, very wearable. So here we have the shade that literally says Pillow Talk on it. So I'm gonna call this side the Pillow Talk, and then here we have the bright pink. As you can see, they're both quite pretty, but I'm going to show you guys my favorite way to wear this after. So I'm now just going with my highlighting brush, and we're going to do the pink on the Pillow Talk side. Now this is a sort of baked sort of gel formula. So again, very, very lightweight, really beautiful sort of iridescent shine. Okay, so we've got the Pillow Talk, or the pink highlighter we have here, and we're going to put the gold on this side. So I'm just going to flip the brush over. And when you're running it back and forth, it doesn't even seem like it's picking anything up. There's no kickback, but once it's on the cheek, you can tell. So again, we have the pink highlighter and the gold. Okay, so now that we've seen both of them, I'm just going to take this off and I'm going to show you my favorite way to wear it. Okay, so I have done my brush switch. I've reapplied my foundation, reapplied the bronzer, so we're kind of back at the same base. And now I want to show you my absolute favorite way to use this beautiful palette. So we are once again going to be starting off with the Pillow Talk blush. And we're going to put it on both sides of our face this time. Going in and just building up a bit of a, almost like a sculpted blush. So I'm just kind of building it up. Again, I find I tend to do about 5 coats of this, which is wild. Like, I don't think there's any other blush where I go in with 5 coats. So it's very, very lightweight. Okay, so now we are going to go in. I'm gonna use the same brush that I actually use for highlighter. It's gonna be a beautiful glowy kind of pink thing. We're gonna go in with this hot pink blush, and we're gonna use it as our pop shade and just kind of put it on the apples of our cheeks, kind of blend it in. If you're familiar with Charlotte Tilbury's single blushes, the Cheek to Chic, all of those have sort of a shade in the middle and a shade on the outside. So I'm using this as my middle shade and this as my outside shade. I'm gonna go in just a little more. I like a strong blush, okay? Okay, so there is our blush, and I'm loving it already. So I'm gonna show you this before we add the highlighter. Here's the way. Personally, I much prefer the pink. I don't mind the gold, but the pink just really speaks to me. So I'm just going to use the pink highlighter. I think the pink highlighter is just so pretty. Okay, there we go. that is the final look. Okay, let me add some lipstick and then I'll do the really pretty like look at all my makeup thing. Okay, so, we have the products on my face. We've seen it, we'll talk about that in a minute. Can we just start with this compact? This is a beautiful, beautiful sort of a pink mother of pearl compact. Reminds me a lot of the highlighters that she released in her Pillow Talk Party collection. Really beautiful collection. I have a review, I'm gonna leave it linked down below. But the packaging, I love it. We have a beautiful big mirror. I love these mirrors that she includes in her larger, kind of her face palettes and her all-in-one palettes because it makes it really easy to kind of do your makeup, especially when you're traveling. I know we're not all traveling all the time. It also makes it easier to just do your makeup sitting at your vanity, on your bed, wherever you do your makeup. So this palette comes with 2 blushes and 2 highlighters. So in terms of the highlighters, they both have this sort of beautiful kind of like an embossed fabric, almost like a throne. You know, it makes me think of like an embossed throne. And then we have the kind of the hot pink blush, which we're gonna get into a little bit more detail, but we have the hot pink blush that has a big CT embossed in it, and what I call the Pillow Talk blush has Pillow Talk embossed in it. Here's what Charlotte has to say about the products. We're gonna start with the blushes and then get into the highlighters. The blush that I have called Pillow Talk, she calls the Super Blush, which is a peach pink matte blush. Then the blush that I call the Hot Pink, she calls that Soft Blush, which is a cool pink matte blush. As for the highlighter, she has Super Glow, which is the warm glow, so that's the golden shade. And then she has Multi Glow, so this is interesting. So the Rose Gold highlighter is the same shade as the Pillow Talk Multi Glow in Romance Light from her Pillow Talk Party collection. What's interesting about Romance Light is it actually has 4 shades inside of it. So I'm going to show you how those swatches compare. Now, really quickly on the medium to deep blush palette. So the Soft Blush is a peachy rose matte, Super Glow is a gold highlighter, Super Blush is a warm rose matte blush, and the Multi Glow is the warm pink gold highlighter, the same shade as Pillow Talk Multi Glow in Dream Light from our Pillow Talk Party collection. Here we have the swatches, and this palette swatches beautifully. So we have the 2 blushes and then the gold highlighter and the pink highlighter. Now I've gone in with 2 swatches over here of Romance Light. So this is just the 3rd shade that I thought would be the more exact kind of match for the highlighter in the palette. And then this shade here, I just put my finger in the pan and just kind of rubbed it around everywhere and got all the colors combined. And then just for comparison, this is Dream Light, so that's the shade all swirled together. And this is the 3rd shade in the same position as the shade right here from Romance Light. So as you can see that Dream Light is a lot deeper, more bronzy than Romance Light. So that's just to give you a little bit of a sense about what you might expect in the medium to deep palette. Okay, so we've seen the swatches, we've read what Charlotte has to say. So let's talk a little bit about the formula. So the first thing I'll say is this formula is so lightweight, really, really buildable, easy to build. But when I say easy to build, I mean, you're gonna have to build up, like for me, I ended up doing about 5 layers of blush to get it to what I would consider a lighter to medium blush application on myself. And I have very fair skin, so it took me about 5 layers to get the blush where I wanted it. So when I say easy to build, I mean that you're not going to go overboard. I think it'd be very, very difficult to go overboard with this blush. So if you're somebody who's newer to makeup, or maybe blush sort of intimidates you, or maybe especially you are intimidated by this bright pink shade here, yeah, this could be a formula that you might really enjoy working with. What I found interesting is when I finger swatched these blushes, it was so easy. Those swatches were really pigmented, but on the brush, they took some time to build up. Now, I think that is ultimately a good thing. There's no kickback, a really nice sort of baked feeling formula, very, very lightweight. And I will say I really feel like the whole palette works together. Now, Charlotte does say that you can use these on your eyes, on your cheeks. Personally, this isn't really a palette that I would tend to reach for my eyes. I know some people really like their makeup to be really multitasking. I really like my product to kind of do like the #1 thing it was intended for. I think it's a great value in the sense that her blushes are about $50. It does get you 2 shades, but for $95 you get 2 blushes that are both fairly large and 2 large pans of highlighter. So, you know, not like an incredible value, incredible deal or anything, but not the worst price product that we've seen from Charlotte. Now, I did think it was really interesting that she repeated this shade from the sort of highlighter quads, if I can open these, from the highlighter quads that she released, gosh, must have been a couple months ago. I want to say that was like 6 months ago. It's been a while. All of that is to say, I think it's interesting that she did that. I do enjoy the sort of matching packaging. I think it's really, really beautiful. It's the kind of packaging that makes me smile. I think this is a really pretty little quad. Definitely not a necessity in your collection, but I enjoy building it up. I enjoy the look that I've created. I know I feel really pretty. I'm going to feel really pretty going to dinner with my friends tonight. And I just have kind of two side comments to make. One is I was at Sephora recently to get my brows done, and I noticed out of the corner of my eye, so this is unrelated to the video, but I wanted to share it, that they had these little magic cream, like a little deluxe size mini magic cream. And I'm going to be doing a lot more travel for work. And I was sitting on 1,000 Sephora points. So I got 10 of them. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I feel like you guys are the only ones who would appreciate that. But yeah, anyways, I got 10 mini little magic creams. So I am set for all of my work-related travel. Anyways, I think this is a really pretty quad. I would love to see also how the medium to deep option works. Again, I don't think that'd be flattering on me, but I would love to see some videos on that, so I'm going to be keeping an eye out. I hope you found these swatches and review helpful. Again, I'm very happy with this. Sometimes I find that Charlotte's baked formula, you know, kind of other products she's done in here. I think of the Nudegasm face quad. I think of I think there's another one, Sungasm or something, that was a couple years ago. Sometimes I find those formulas hard to work with. It does build up nicely on the brush, and I think looks really pretty on the skin. So I'm a happy camper. I'm excited to see what else Charlotte has in her holiday collection. And if you are a big fan of Charlotte Tilbury, then definitely subscribe, because I would love to have you here as part of our community. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys soon. Bye. Mwah.